Howdy, Possum Patty here, and it's time to journal. So come on along, but first, let me take you outside. First time ever I've had marigolds growing and blooming on the Day of the Dead. So today I'm going to make a little altar page in my journal to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. And in my Day of the Dead pack from Michael's, there was this beautiful little altar here. So I'm thinking of cutting this out and then fussy cutting some of this space and seeing which picture I can fit in there. I have one of my aunt and uncle who have both passed. They may fit in there. And if they don't, I have one of my grandmother, and I know that'll fit in there. So I'll figure that out after I cut this out. And I do have the marigold paper from that paper pack. And the day that I was out filming those marigolds on the Day of the Dead, I picked the marigold petals and put them in my flower press. So I'm going to be adding those real marigold petals to the page. Now, why do I have a monarch butterfly? Well, during this celebration, it is believed that the spirit of the departed ancestors come in the form of monarch butterflies, and that coincides with the migration of the monarch butterflies to Mexico, because that's where they go in the wintertime. So you have the spirits of the departed coming on the wings of the monarch butterflies, and they're attracted to the bright colors and scents of the marigolds. So that's why marigolds are often put on the altars for the Day of the Dead. Other colorful flowers too, but I think marigolds are the traditional ones. Now, like I said, I've never had marigolds blooming on the Day of the Dead before. So I did quickly, again, pick them, put them in my flower press, and dried some. So this is my idea. I'm going to cut out my monarch butterfly, and I'm going to cut out my altar and cut the marigold paper down to size to fit on a page, and I'll get all that done and I will be right back. I'm working on some layering ideas here. I know I want the large marigolds in the background, and I want the frame for the picture, but I want to get the marigold petals in, so I might do this green border that sort of goes with those marigold leaves there, and I will Mod Podge or something these marigold leaves around on that. So let's see which picture. Well, that kind of looks nice. And Grandma. I think I'm going to go with this one. It was taken in 1997. So I'm going to cut this photo down to size and glue the frame to it. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this paper here. I want it to look like handmade paper with the marigold leaves on it. Okay, I want to make this paper look a little softer and lumpier, so it looks a little bit more like handmade paper. So what I'm going to do is take some of this sparkle Mod Podge, get it open here, and my brush is here on the table somewhere. Here it is. I'm just going to lay down a coat of this. So while I'm working on this, I am getting ready to work in my Christmas journals, and I'm still working in my gnome journal, and this is my October, I don't want to say Halloween, it is the Halloween journal, but has many other things in it too. I want to tell you a little story about my sister and how funny she is. So you know, I posted a video about when I put out my fall decorations. And I'll link that below. So I sent it to her because somebody in the family was talking about how they were decorating something, and I sent everybody the link of how I decorated my shelf in the dining room. And now we're just doing a little family thread there on what we were doing for decorating for the fall.
It's a nice fall.
So my sister thought it was funny that I made the video about putting stuff out on the shelf.
From my backyard.
So she made a little video
bright colors at the moment.
about her fall decorations.
A large one with some brown.
And I'm going to show that to you up in the corner right now.
So big, so it's kind of cool. Looks like a leopard leaf, really, right? I'm going to come back in the house. There's Mama. Bought her a little treat today from the Dunkin' down the road. Say good morning, Mom. Good morning. Good morning. Carry on to the famous mantle living room where I have a fall, October-ish, Halloween-ish gnome boo. I'm going to place my leaf right in front here like that. Let's see. There we go. And
I'm just going to tear this off around the edge.
Is complete for fall.
I'm thinking about whether this needs another layer or not. So I thought that was very funny. And I just wanted to mention that because I'm going to be taking down my fall decorations and putting up some Christmas ones this week. And I usually do it for Thanksgiving, but my son was coming over, so I left up the Thanksgiving one, so then they'll have to come back and see the Christmas ones. Tricky, tricky, tricky. That might be enough. Okay, I'm going to put most of the marigolds around the edge because the picture is going to go in the middle, so I don't need to waste any in the middle. So I'm just going to slob on some more of this sparkle Mod Podge. They make two kinds. They make the sparkle and the extreme glitter, which is almost the same thing. I will put some Mod Podge over marigold petals. Now a marigold is actually a composite flower, which means what you think is one flower is usually many, many, many flowers. Just like a sunflower is not one flower. It's many, many flowers all on one big flower head. And there's the flowers that are around the edge, and that's these, and then the flowers that are in the middle, they look like little trumpets like that. So there's two kinds of flowers in a composite flower. And I just ripped that leaf. Dried flowers are very delicate to work with. This is the first time that I've ever, I think, dried marigolds. I don't remember. I might have. These are already starting to make the seeds. You can see the seeds on some of these. There's one right there. This is the end of the season. And I always think about drying my flowers late in the season. I have to remember to dry some spring flowers and not just the late summer and fall ones. So I'm just going to go round and round. I don't want it too neat. I mess it up a little bit here. I have a tendency to lay everything out in too organized a fashion. Something I have to overcome all the time. Because you want some things to be more natural, more spontaneous, and not just like soldiers marching in a row. Trying to get a mix of both kinds of flowers on here. The flowers from the center of the flower head seem to be a little darker the way they dried. I think this is going to look pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I hope a little bit more of that green shows through after the Mod Podge dries. Maybe a few up here. Where's my frame? Okay. You can do this for any journal page with any dried flower leaf. If you don't have a flower press, you can put them in a phone book. Or if you have no patience, you can put them in the microwave. But you got to press them down between two flat glass objects, or at least one flat glass object and a paper towel. I think I showed that in one of my videos. Okay, that's enough because I want a little bit of the green to show through. So I'm going to Mod Podge on top of these. Mod Podge will dry clear. Except for this does have sparkle in it. Sparkle, sparkle. So this is my idea for today. I'm watching everybody prep their Christmas journals. And here I am back on November 1st. But that's okay. I'll be journaling in these journals until they're done, while I'm doing my December daily and my monster December and July journal too. The ones that are layered, you got to get some underneath, I think, so it sticks a little better. Okay, I'm going to give this a little while to dry before I can put it all together. I can't do too much until this is dry. So I hope that's enough Mod Podge. I'll be back in a little while to show you how this looks. Okay, look how gorgeous this came out with all that sparkle Mod Podge. I didn't show you the container. Mod Podge, sparkle. And now you can see that green again because it's dried. This white bit's, that's tissue paper where I had it folded over. And I think it's still a little wet on the back. Maybe I'll take the heat gun to that for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, wanted to dry it up so I can get it wet with the glue again. Let's see, should I assemble it all and then put it in the book? Why not? Okay, so there we have my marigold paper, my green paper with the real marigold on it. So I'm going to glue that there. And then I'm going to glue the picture in the frame and glue it like that. I have this little bit of green strip left over where I trimmed this. And I might put that up there. And let's see, I can write their names up there. And then I was thinking of adding maybe an orange marigold down here or up there. But I can think about that. Okay, so I'm going to go think and glue, and I'll be right back again. Okay, 2 things left, well, 3 things left to do. I have to glue down my butterfly, my Monarch butterfly, that migrates to Mexico. And on the Day of the Dead, it represents the spirits of the departed coming to visit. And as you can see, I fussy cut it out, but not the antenna and the legs, and of course the proboscis there where they suck out the nectar. But this is why, no bother fussing cutting these at all, but keep the image so you can glue your butterfly down, and then just take a black pen and look and see where the legs were and add those on, and then add on the antenna. And then you don't have to worry about that at all. So I'm going to, this is very shiny magazine paper, so I may use a little Fabri-Tac on this. Like so. Okay, now I wrote Aunt Fanny and Uncle Rudy 1997 on that little strip of green paper, and I did go around the edge a little bit with some black ink. Tiny bit of distressing also around this edge. Not around the flowers of the frame, just those 2 things. I don't like to distress everything. Okay, I cut out 3 marigolds from the background paper, and I'm going to use these as bases to just put a little cluster here, or should I put it down here? I get my butterfly there, so opposite I want my flowers, so I might put them down here. Now these are going to be 3-dimensional, and I went over to my Big Shot with some Tim Holtz dies. Ones I thought looked like marigolds. And I need my pokey tool, don't I? Pokey, pokey, pokey. And marigolds come in different shades of orange and yellow and red. I didn't do any red. I don't want to put any red on this page, keeping it to purples, greens, and oranges and this lighter color here. So as soon as my butterfly is dry, I'm going to add his legs on in a little bit. But what I have to focus on right now is somehow layering these up. I have that darker orange and a lighter orange. And then this yellow. It's almost like a golden yellow. And I can put this on there. I have all 3 colors of this. How many layers do I want? Marigolds tend to have a lot of layers, don't they? I think, yeah, I like that. I'm going to layer these up. And I do have some centers here. I'll find one that fits. Probably this littler one. And I did lie the other day when I said I didn't have any orange bling bling. I don't have the kind that comes on the card, but I do have the kind that comes on a roll, and you can cut this up and use it. So I may use that just in the center of each flower. So I'm going to just layer them up like that so they're nice and 3-dimensional, and glue them down here in the corner, maybe down here below the frame like that. And then I'll be back to draw on the legs of my butterfly. Okay, now drawing is not about skills with a pen. It's about seeing. Seeing is the most important thing when you draw. So you can see that I cut out the butterfly and I left the silhouette there. And I'm going to look and see where the first leg is. And it's right back here where the body meets the wing. And it takes a little curve, just a little bit. Like that. I'm using my Sakura black glaze pen because it'll write on just about anything. And then the leg sort of drops down. And a little curve out again. The other leg is in the front of the body. And I only see 2 legs in this picture, so he's only going to get 2 legs. Like that. And then up here we've got 1 antenna coming out like this, little knob on the end. And then we've got the other antenna. Like that. And that's it. There's my butterfly. Like I said, I'm not going to put his little proboscis out right now because although I could aim it towards the flower here, but I don't think I'm going to. So now this is ready. Hold on. I got to zoom back out here. Okay. So now this is ready. There's my butterfly. Aunt Fanny and Uncle Rudy, who have passed. This is their little altar for the Day of the Dead with the marigolds, dried flowers around the frame, and my 3-dimensional, see that? Piled it up. Marigolds with the bling bling in the corner. All right, so I believe I am going to put this right over here, move some stuff out of the way. So all I have to do is put down some glue on this page, stick that in there, and I'll be back. Okay, my remembrance page is in my journal. Very pretty, very colorful. This is my HP journal again. And somebody remarked that they hope that my glitter glue on this page dried very sparkly. And I just want everybody to know, yes, it did. Might be hard to see in the camera. The lighting is not that good. But it did come out really nice. So this was yesterday's page, all dry and in the book. And today's page, more sparkle. This has gold foil on it too, very pretty. Dry in the book. So I just knocked over my little flowers. I have to clean off my table, don't I? Getting very, very messy. Very, very messy, very messy. All right, I'm going to put these away. I'm trying to make little extras when I do die cutting and put them in a plastic baggie and put them in the closet just to have a little bit extra on hand for when I need them quick. Although I don't do anything quick, do I? Okay, so thanks for coming along today. And I want to wish everybody happy junk journaling. Bye-bye now.